Hey, water signs, how are you? Um, I just did the fireside reading and I asked as I was shuffling the cards what sign I was going to do next or what element I was going to do next. And the three bottom cards were water, water, water. So guess water is it. So we're going to do something a bit different. There you go, water on the bottom. Do something a bit different. Anyway, I hope you are all well. Thank you for coming back and watching me. Um, This is not going to resonate for everybody. Alright? This is, you either like it or you don't. Right? Anyway, a bit different. So we're going to find out what's now. Right? I hope you guys can see. What's now for water signs? What's now for water signs? What's now for water signs? Okay. Trying to find balance. Trying to find harmonious give and take. Now, in this card, you've got a man standing, so genderized, but a man standing on a balcony with two fountains either side, right? He's in the middle, and there are trees equally spaced across the back, right? It's the equal give and take, grounding emotions, right? Viewing what you have, being happy with what you've got, satisfied almost, right? Equal give and take. So right now, this is where you are. You're pretty balanced. It's not going to resonate for everybody. Not all water signs. What predominantly do we project outwardly, by outward, so towards other people? What does this group of water signs project outwardly to other people? Hey. Light, hope, healing. Okay? Balance. Maybe a sounding board. Maybe some water signs have become sounding boards. Some water signs have also balanced out their intuition. Okay? Because this is mental conflict. This is revealing the way we talk to ourselves. This is secrets. Now in the normal tarot, this card here is the Seven of Swords. So this talks about elevation too. Okay? Coming out of mental conflict, maybe starting to see synchronicities with what was said and what is done, right? We've got a 7 and a 2, which is 9. Almost completion. Okay? This is what we project outwardly. But inwardly, this is what's happening. Okay? And this is where we have to balance the two of them, right? There's also air, communication, the way we express ourselves. Okay? Sometimes we say something and then sit there and mull it over in our head afterwards. I should have said it this way, or could have said it better, could have said it that way. And I think a lot of water signs are starting to balance that out in the way they speak. Okay, cause and effect kind of thing. For this group of water signs anyway, that I'm kind of picking up the energy for, right? A lot of nostalgia is coming out, and some of us might be seeing, some water signs might be seeing the fact that the way they speak to people, they get a better reaction. Alright? As I said to you before, it's not going to resonate with everybody. Goals for this group of water signs. Goals. What's the goal? See, we're all in isolation, right? And some of us are going with the flow. I'm going to take the one that's upside down. Round and round in circles. I just said going with the flow. What were the other two cards? 2 more 7s. Standing our ground, seeing. See, this is Cancer energy, right? So this is standing our ground. It's Wands energy. Wands and water. So fire and water. Standing your ground, picking your battles. Right? Instead of going round and round in circles. This is kind of cool. Also Wands energy. It's taking the choice. It's making that choice. Okay. Producing goals. It's the tree in the middle of the hourglass. Okay. And you keep working hard enough, and eventually that tree is going to get roots, grow bigger. Okay. Planting seeds. Now, some of us could be just going round and round in circles, just doing the motions, but kind of not thinking that, kind of not feeling that. Because this is an hourglass, right? So I think this is not choosing to stand still. I think this is you taking that initiative, that Wands energy, the other two cards that flew out, the Wands energy, and moving forward, creating something, creating this to happen, creating what you want, creating, planting, oh, get out, planting seeds, look at that. That's funny. New intentions. Right? That's funny. New ways of making money. That's funny. What motivates you? What motivates this group of water signs? What motivates this group of... Okay. Wow. Grounding spirituality, grounding what you know, working on yourself, synchronicities, right? Synchronicities. See, the Hermit talks about going within to balance stuff, going within to learn more things, to learn knowledge. And maybe this coming to a standstill has made some water signs pay attention. This is solitary, right? And because this is what motivates you, motivating you to knowing. The third eye talks about knowing. It talks about connection to spirit. It talks about connection to signs and synchronicities, being aware. Okay, so your awareness. Maybe you're becoming more aware of your surroundings, being isolated, your abilities, your own gifts. Right, this could also be because of its mental conflict here and lifting the veil on things, all right, inwardly, kind of the same thing. We're learning new things, learning how to balance these emotions out. Water signs are very emotional people. I cried all day yesterday. I was really, really sad. There's been bouts of it for months. I kind of felt almost neurotic because it was almost 4 seasons in one day, you know. I wasn't angry, I was just really sad. And I know there's some other Pisces out there. Look, I was really sad. And I know there's some other Pisces and Cancer and Scorpio people out there that are sort of seeing how they influence things, what they say, how they influence. It's good or bad, right? See, some of this is shedding the light on how you became this. Talking it out. That's what brings balance. Acknowledge your accomplishments as well as your vices, right? And yeah. So this is what sacrifice. I'm not taking that many cards, but at the bottom of that was truth. It's judgment. See, I'll show you. 4 cards down, judgment. About the past. Might be coming to an end. Anyway, sacrifice. Not going to resonate with all water signs. Some of us sacrificed missed opportunities. Some of these things that, in this position, some of these things that, this is like what produced a flaw or a need in a situation, or in your journey, or in your life, or, you know. And this here is this is soul's journey. This is isolation. Okay. Same kind of thing. Spiritual awakening. So it's not going to resonate for everybody. But some Pisces, some Cancers, some Scorpios are really, really starting to acknowledge their abilities. They're really starting to acknowledge their body talk, the way their body is with them. Okay? So this talks about finding out why things happen. So when somebody lies to you, you kind of know. Your body tells you that. It's a reaction. Okay? And when you kind of feel like somebody's agitated around you, a lot of water signs are starting to work out the different signs within our body, different signs within our mind, signs within our realities, signs and synchronicities, to who is there for us and who is not, or who has our highest potential, who is there for our highest good. Right? And this is also sympathizing with other people, being able to pick up other people's emotions, being able to pick up on other people's personal cues, maybe. Okay, I think for this group of Pisces, we're kind of, and Cancer and Scorpio, we're kind of waking up. We're taking on that fire energy, and we're also taking on a lot of air. So if you've got air in your chart, that's kicking in right now. Okay, this is revealing what's keeping you stuck. Some of us, it could be betrayal. Some of us, it could be just the fact that we live in a fantasy land sometimes, right? Sometimes we just want the fairy tale, and sometimes that's just not what's happening, right? Have to see for what is, not what we perceive it. Floral need. Relationship. That was, hang on, 2 secs. 2 cards flew out, right? So it could be the need for it's time for us to get out of our head and form relationships. Look at that, Judgment. Right? For some of us, not all of us. For some of us, things are moving forward as far as their psychic ability is concerned faster than what they know how to deal with, and they're starting to see people for. They're starting to trust in intuition a little bit more. Okay, not everybody is there for them, or not every, and some water signs are starting to see that. Okay, and even within it, a family dynamic. It's got to do with give and take, and I think some water signs are putting their foot down, planting new seeds, like, you know, need some help, can't do it on my own, kind of thing, right? Let's have a look. One card, please. Thank you. Yeah, see, I said relationships. 2 of Cups. Partnerships. Floral need. Bottom of the deck. Look at that. 2, 2. 2. And it's 2, 5, 2 right now. 2. Right. Partnerships. Floral need. See? Now partnerships could be spiritual union, could be like, this is the 2 of Cups. So this is a connection with yourself, connection with spirit. However you go, however it resonates with you, it could be a connection within your family. It could be friends. Right? It's a connection of some sort. Floral need. Maybe some of us need to look at the way we treat people or talk to people. Right? Maybe some of us are looking for a relationship. Floral need. right? Balancing out this emotion, balancing out what the past hurt, and becoming level-headed and acknowledged, like acknowledging what hurt you in the past and healing and dealing with it. And a lot of water signs have done that. A lot of water signs have done that. So you might be looking for it, like some of you might be looking for union, that connection, that feeling. Okay. Intimacy. Being seen. All right. The source behind it. Emotion. Wish fulfillment. Okay. Emotionally supported. Truth at the bottom. Emotionally supported. Equal give and take. And the effects that it has had with you guys, like acknowledging the way we speak to each other, the way we speak to ourselves. Maybe not reacting in the same way as we did before. This talks about forgiveness. This talks about time healing. Gifts being awakened from the past. Balancing out our mind, because a lot of this is very, a lot of this is communicative, right? A lot of this is air. So it's the way we speak to ourselves, the way we speak to another person. Okay, for some of us, it's balancing that out, because we've got balance here. I'll get some clarifiers in a minute, but the effect that it has had. Get out from the past. We've balanced out things from the past. Overcome obstacles. Right, we start with the 6, we end in the 6. It's kind of cool. Alright, let's see. Just pop them there. I use my Light Seekers Tarot deck for the fire signs. So I might use my double A one. Oh, I got hair in that one. Oops. Alright, let's go. We're going to clarify this one here. Balance, emotion, there you go. Balancing out the burdens. See? Balancing out burdens, we're almost home. I know it's been a hard road. It's equal give and take. It's you not accepting all of it. Endings. It's you not accepting all of it. Equal give and take. Alright? It's also sometimes the way to give in, like you've asked and it hasn't been done, so to give in, you just go and do it anyway. This is can you do it again, please? Okay. Setting a new way, setting new boundaries. Can I have the Star card? Hope. This is outwardly projected. So light, hope. Secretly making the choice to do that. Fire sign, see, look, that was the 2 of Wands. Alright, slowly moving. We're not rushing. It's slow movement, slow grounding. Okay? For some of us, this is slowly sinking in, see? Going from what we perceive things to be to what is. It's not moving as fast as it should be, but you know what? It is moving. Contemplation. Alright? Contemplation's good. Slow and steady wins the race, as it were. And that was the one of Pentacles, look, the Ace of Pentacles. Can I have revealing the mental conflict, what's keeping it? Thoughts mulling round and round. Could be Venus retrograde. Nostalgia. Thoughts of the past. Thoughts of what was, what is. Thoughts. Illusions. Lifting the veil on things. Can I have clarifier for the 7 and the 2, please? I'm going to say that some water signs haven't given themselves enough love. There's always been a wedge. There's always been something put in between, because the 2 of Swords, which is this one here, okay, is it's kind of put a wedge between revealing your thoughts to another person, like communicating. This is how I feel. See? Revealing your thoughts. This is the High Priestess. Lifting the veil, lifting the illusions. Knowing. Right? So this is lifting the illusions. This is lifting that 3rd sword out. Lifting that block out. Taking off the mask. Speaking your truth. Right? What? Speaking your truth. Knowing. Dealing with past heartbreak. And you see, this is also trust. Do I trust another person again? Maybe they'll lie to me. Trust is really hard for a lot of people, but water signs kind of takes it sort of a bit harder. Anyway, so it's not going to be for everybody. For this group of water signs, there is. 2 of Wands. Look at that. Balancing out the knowledge. Finding out knowledge. Pouring the cups. Side to side. Balancing it out. Alright. That's Virgo. This one here. It's the Hermit, which is the same card. Balancing it out. Spending this time in isolation, learning about things. Learning how to do these things. What does ground us? Temperance is patience. It's waiting. It's having patience with those around us. It's having patience with ourselves. This is the inner knowing, inner balance. Putting an end to the way that we treat ourselves mentally. Right? Lifting the veils. Bottom of the deck. Fast moving. Okay? See? You're wanting, there are some of us that are wanting this to happen now and hurry up, because there's a lot of water signs that are really impatient. Patience. Learning. Waiting. Okay? And while we're waiting, we can have a look at our own behaviour. I have learning and another 9. It's also a 9. So we have 99. This is compassion. Numerology in the numerology deck. 99 is compassion, which is a purple card. Compassion for ourselves. Sometimes we guard ourselves a lot from what we've been through, what we've exposed to other people. It's not really how we feel sometimes. Right? Sometimes we let out a little bit of light at the time, and sometimes we pull it back and it's a bit dark. Fellow water signs will know what I'm talking about. Bit dark. Bit dark. The way we talk to ourselves. The way sometimes we think about ourselves is a bit trapped. See, we're going from the 8 of Swords to the 9 of Swords. So in this reading we've got 7, 8, 9. 9, 9, 9s. On the board right now I've got 4 9s. 5 9s I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Get out. Look. This is the 9 of Swords. This is the 9 of Swords. Right. 9's a completion, but it's also individually completing things. Individually overcoming things. Not by yourself. Like, you don't have to be by yourself all the time. It's just you are individually completing these tasks or completing these things that is making you feel a bit happier within yourself, making you feel a bit more level-headed and a little bit more balanced. Right? The 2 of Cups. Okay, so this is the need. The 4. The 2 of Cups. The Empress. Relationships need to be nurtured. Bottom of the bottom of the deck is the 10 of Cups. This is family and relationships. They need to be nurtured. Right? Maybe some water signs, their goal is to have that family. So they have to put in that mindset that this is what I want. And yes, it is a waiting game. Definitely. Right? Because we have to learn about each other. We have to learn about ourselves. We have to learn about life in general, how we live with another person, instead of isolating ourselves. Water signs go with the flow a lot, but they also, they're very distant people. The Nine of Cups. We need to come back together. The Nine of Cups. Looking at what you want, setting your intentions. This could be, some of us set the intentions, right? The source that's behind it is the moon. So maybe, alright, I'm just going to say it. Maybe some water signs are going through this conflict as the moon cycles go round. Alright, so you either, some of you may get happier as the full moon comes out, or as the moon gets bigger, and sadder as it gets darker, or vice versa. Right? You might be really, really, really calm when the moon's dark, because in this picture here, there's only stars, right? So it could be the fact that when the moon's dark, you're at your happiest, and when it's full, you're not. Okay? So if there is somebody that's watching this from a water sign, maybe you need to give some emotional support. This is seeing signs in people, knowing what they are. Alright? This could be some of us secretly crying. Okay, giving ourselves our own emotional support. Bottom of the deck, yeah, again. And the Six of Cups. It's clarified by the Nine. There's the Nine of Cups there. Water signs. And there's the Six of Pentacles. Look. That's kind of cool. The card underneath that is the Four of Wands. Foundations. Alright. This is nostalgia and thinking about what was. And really, this is what is. Okay. Some of us, those of us that have balanced out our stuff, balanced out our emotions, grounded ourselves a little bit, used that earth energy and grounded it. Alright? There's not much fire energy here, so it's not much creation, but it is a lot of mental conflict. There's a lot of the way we speak to each other, ourselves. Sorry, I tried to say that in one word, but it didn't work. Alright? So, I've got the threads of fate. Now, some of us are a bit darker at the moment, so let's have a look on some of those aspects. I'm not taking that. Water signs, darker aspects. This is the threads of fate. Water signs, darker aspects, maybe to watch out for. Alright, I've got two. Alright, bottom of the deck, get curious. Okay, set your roots out. See? There's a tree. Set your roots out. Get curious. So it talks about finding out why. And the two cards that I have in my hand is play and sovereignty. So some of our water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, have actually stepped into their power, acknowledged that they're different and they think differently and there's different thought patterns. It's kind of cool. Alright? For those that haven't, play with the idea of maybe acknowledging people differently a bit. Right? And I'm just saying, like, speaking differently to them. As I said at the beginning, this is not going to resonate for every Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. So I hope you've enjoyed the reading. Bye.